It's been 13 years since the last mainline Silent Hill game, which was Silent Hill Downpour. The early 2010s was the undeniable dark period for the Silent Hill franchise, not only in terms of the quality of its games, but the community. Back then, fans and developers were at each other's throats, resulting in an all-time high toxicity for the franchise. However, it's 2025, and we have an all-new Konami, all-new developers, and a grown-up community, I would say, helping usher in the new age of Silent Hill with Silent Hill F. I don't care what Wikipedia says, Silent Hill F is a full-priced $70 game. It's a mainline entry, not a spin-off. As a die-hard fan who loves the first 4 games in the series and hates virtually all the rest, Silent Hill F finally offers some of what made Silent Hill such an incredible horror experience. Silent Hill F actually nails a key aspect of the franchise none of the follow-up titles past 4 delivered. But there's issues, big issues, and the game has to be one of the most frustrating titles in terms of what it could have been. Let's start off with the story, because it's easily the best part of the game, but the aspect I also have to discuss the least without spoilers. Later in the video, I'll dive into New Game Plus, which will include spoilers, but for anyone who hasn't played the game yet, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version right now. You play as Shimizu Hinako, who, after an argument with her family, delves into the town of Ebusugoka, Japan. She meets up with 3 friends, Shu, Rinko, and Sakuko, as the town transforms into a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life. That's all I'll say for the non-spoiler portion, as you really have to play through the rest for yourself. But I do warn that you must play through the game multiple times to understand the full story. In New Game Plus, everything changes, so much so that you might as well not even see the credits until you get the true ending, which is 3 playthroughs deep, by the way. It's actually really satisfying playing New Game Plus with these new cutscenes and new memos, piecing together the story just like Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 1 demanded you to look over every piece of detail, every memo, every word spoken, and if you pieced it all together, you would get the full understanding of the game's story. Silent Hill F nails this, and I loved this story, especially its themes, which are fully developed in New Game Plus Plus. Some of the best, most emotional cutscenes happen there, and while I love it, it is sad that I imagine many are just going to beat the game once, be confused, and be done with it. With only rare exceptions like the Crimson Ceremony and Book of Lost Memories in Silent Hill 2, no additional lore details are added in New Game Plus in the original 4 games. I think that works a lot better because everyone will see the best moments in the story on their first run. Not so much in Silent Hill F. Still, that is a minor nitpick, as Silent Hill F's story is by far its greatest aspect, finally bringing back that challenging, piecing together story that is a part of what made Silent Hill so special in the first place. Sadly, most of the other elements of Silent Hill F are pretty subpar. Let's get into my biggest problem with Silent Hill F. I consider myself an achievement hunter, and I usually try to 100% most games I play, but I just couldn't stand to beat this game on its highest mode because I hate the combat. The combat in this is basically just Dark Souls. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. It has virtually every distinct aspect of Souls combat. It's slow, you need to take turns with the enemies, the controls are the same, you have a frustrating stamina meter, and the most annoying thing of all, your weapon can bounce off walls and enemy knives, which in the enclosed interior portions of this game are incredibly frustrating. When an enemy is in an open doorway, you literally can't hit him without your weapon bouncing off the walls. I will admit my dislike of the combat may be down to personal preference. There's a reason why I don't play Souls-likes at all, as I much prefer the more fast-paced combat of something like Ninja Gaiden, which has no stamina meter. That said, this combat does not jive well with a horror game like Silent Hill. The Silent Hill series always leaned more towards ranged combat, and for good reason, as you didn't want any of those enemies coming near you. That makes sense for a horror game. I understand this title takes place in 1960s Japan, so adding ranged weapons is a little difficult, but having only melee weapons takes a lot of the fear out of the game, just like how it was in Silent Hill Homecoming. Yes, Silent Hill 4 used primarily melee weapons as well, but you had ghosts to deal with, which were invincible, so the fear, tension, and oh shit panic was still there. The fact that there's no ranged weapons also makes the surprise attacks much more bullshit in this game. In the Silent Hill 2 remake, the mannequins were the star of the game hands down. Acting like your average Call of Duty Ghost player, corner camping for an easy kill, these mannequins surprise attacked you again, and again. They do surprise attacks so much that, like Serious Sam, you adapt to it and try to peek around every corner. It felt great to spot one before it strikes and shoot it down. The game rewarded you for learning and being observant, but in Silent Hill F, it doesn't even matter if you see an enemy before it strikes. You'll have to dodge their attack, and spotting an enemy only to result in you still getting grabbed because you failed to dodge is bullshit, plain and simple. So yeah, the combat is unbearable to me, plus it doesn't fit the series at all, but Silent Hill F also fails in the sound design. If you asked me what defines Silent Hill, it's the ability to scare you through sound alone without anything actually happening. In a game like Silent Hill 3, you could explore an area like the construction site and be freaked out by the noises alone so much that you'll want to leave your room. These noises don't come from the enemies, by the way. Silent Hill F uses the sound design in the more traditional horror sense, freaky noises that always signal an upcoming enemy. The game rarely does freaky noises out of nowhere with no context, like the classic games, which is unfortunate because that is Silent Hill to me. It's so effective, making Silent Hill as scary as it is, and a large reason why Silent Hill Origins is a bit of a guilty pleasure because of the killer sound design. In addition, one incredibly refreshing aspect going back to the classic games is the use of no sound. Take this area from Silent Hill 3. There is literally no noise at all except for Heather's footsteps, which is genius for setting the atmosphere and tension. In Silent Hill F, there's no dead silence like that. There's always some sort of background noise going on, which ruins the tension a bit compared to the original titles. For these past 13 years, the thing I desperately wanted most out of a brand new Silent Hill game was for it to have that classic A-grade sound design that made those first 3 titles the best horror game trilogy of all time. Silent Hill F doesn't do that, and it's frustrating as a longtime Silent Hill fan. Heck, even Silent Hill 4 failed in this department, so I was hoping Silent Hill F would bring it back to its roots. Nope. More on the sound, let's dive into the music. I found it forgettable, to be honest. Akira Yamaoka returned to do key tracks, but the only track I can remember is the main theme, and that's it. I think I actually liked Downpour's OST more, which was composed by the late great Daniel Licht. I have some more talking points before diving into New Game Plus. First is the puzzles, which I would say is another big strong point of Silent Hill F. It's not as good as the original trilogy, but yet again, those are practically impossible to top with their masterfully written Shakespearean quality. Silent Hill F's puzzles are easily the best on offer in the series since Silent Hill 3, being just complex enough without being too overwhelming and remain very satisfying to solve. Playing Silent Hill F in the age of Google AI Overview is great, because if you're playing on the Lost in the Fog puzzle difficulty, there might be things you just don't pick up on due to general knowledge. Here's an example where you need to find a 3-digit number combination, and you're given a hint that the coded combination can be used to make a cake. Well, I was drawing a blank here, so I used the Google AI Overview and read this. To make a cake from a mixture of flour and sugar, you typically add eggs and fat. Eggs and fat, huh? That sounds like a great answer to me. I solved the puzzle and it felt great, leading it to being my personal favorite one in the title. The only puzzle I didn't like was the one where you had to figure it out while evading a monster the entire time. I hate puzzles like that, so I just Googled it. The rest are great though, and not only are the puzzles affected by your chosen puzzle difficulty, but the ending as well. A few more nitpicks I have is that too many times in the campaign you're forced to collect 3 MacGuffins to open a door or proceed forward. This is standard for horror games, but it happens a bit too much where I'm like, okay, Neobards, you need to come up with something new. Also, I would love for the ranking system to come back. Only in the first 4 games are you graded from 1 to 10 stars, and it was a good challenge aiming for that prestigious 10-star rank. I myself 10-star ranked the original Silent Hill 2, and it felt great. It bums me out that none of these newer Silent Hill games ranks you on performance. Even the recent Resident Evil games do that with S+ ranks and whatnot. Okay, let's dive into New Game Plus, and from this point on, it's all spoilers. Silent Hill F has to offer the best New Game Plus mode I've played in a long time. When I stated earlier that everything changes in New Game Plus, I mean it. You have brand new cutscenes, new dialogue, new memos that replace older ones, different enemy spawns, and the introduction of 3 new endings. New Game Plus even adds the true ending, resulting in 5 endings total. After beating the game for the first time, I was confused, baffled, and didn't really like the game at all. New Game Plus is when Silent Hill F started to win me back. One of my biggest problems with the game is that it had nothing to do with Silent Hill. It felt like Fatal Frame, but New Game Plus is when connections finally come into play with the Red Liquid and White Claudia. Plus, the dual Hinekos is a very obvious parallel to Alessa from Silent Hill 1. The themes are much more heavily delved in New Game Plus, with themes of marriage, freedom, individuality, and gender norms. New Game Plus in particular has some phenomenal cutscenes that rival the best seen in the original titles.
Dad, really? Sure he did. Whenever your father and I got into a serious argument, he knew that against me, he never had a chance. But Hinako, that was just how life went with the 2 of us. I am sorry for making you worry. I am so sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I truly am.
It's incredible, but once again, I don't think you should block these scenes behind your 3rd playthrough. Many are going to miss out on these phenomenal moments, as they're just going to beat the game once and move on. I know many trashed this game due to its feminist messaging, but there's 2 counterpoints. For one, this game takes place in 1960s Japan, when women virtually had no rights, so I'm cutting it a bit of slack because it fits the setting. 2, Neobards knows their audience. Face it, female players is a huge portion of the Silent Hill fanbase, probably because most of the games have a hot dude as the protagonist. Listen, I know many in the community clown on Henry Townsend for being a boring protagonist, but don't tell that to the female Silent Hill fans, because Henry is quite a hit with the ladies, I do say so myself. The themes in this game will connect with much of the Silent Hill community, and I think it's effective, plus it's more complicated than the patriarchy and marriage is pure evil, like some are saying. The game really makes a complete transformation in New Game Plus and New Game Plus that doing 3 playthroughs to get the true ending is mandatory in my opinion in terms of beating the game. Silent Hill F also contains a UFO ending, like most games, but it's a bit disappointing. The UFO ending here is in the style of a Japanese manga.
There's no doubt about it.
Them?
Yeah, the aliens. They've been eyeing Earth for a long time.
This would be really cool if Silent Hill Book of Memories on the Vita didn't do basically the same thing.
Tall boots, leather pants, super tight shirt, and a badge. Uh-oh.
Sure, Book of Memories was in a comic book style, but it's still unoriginal. There's not much in the way of New Game Plus bonus weapons either, not even an ultimate weapon for getting the true ending. You just get the Sacred Sword and an unlockable Plasma Saber if you get the UFO ending. I was really hoping for a ray gun, as it's mentioned countless times in Silent Hill F, but I guess even unlockable ranged weapons was out of the question for Neobards. So does Silent Hill F bring Silent Hill back to its former glory? Not really, but it is a huge step in the right direction. I never heard of Ryukishio 7 before playing this game, but I think his writing works perfectly for Silent Hill, and I hope he comes back for future installments. The story in this game has to be the best since Silent Hill 4. It might even be better than it, to be honest. The puzzles were also the best since the original 3. However, future games need to ditch the Dark Souls combat. It doesn't fit in with Silent Hill at all and ruined my enjoyment of the game. As I said before, it wasn't until New Game Plus that Silent Hill F started to win me over. To boot, please, can we have a new Silent Hill with that genius sound design from the original trilogy, where you were just scared shitless from the sound alone without anything happening? That is the core pillar of Silent Hill to me, the sound. Silent Hill F offers a soundscape you've heard countless times from other modern horror games that's virtually nothing like the original titles. There's not even any creepy voices or sounds like in Silent Hill 2, which were quite disturbing. Silent Hill F needed more of that as someone who's a long-time Silent Hill fan. You can buy Silent Hill F on Steam, the Epic Games Store, PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and even the Microsoft Store, aka Xbox PC. Silent Hill F supports Xbox Play Anywhere, so you can get an Xbox console and Xbox PC copy with the same purchase. This also means you'll be able to play Silent Hill F on the upcoming ROG Xbox Ally. I would recommend playing this game as the story is incredible, but wait for a sale. Unless you're a die-hard fan, the atrocious combat doesn't make the $70 worth it in my opinion. That's about it. Comment down below what you think about Silent Hill F, and make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you later.